So this is from The Athletic. The most surprising roster cut from every NFL team. For the Browns, they go Jermaine Ifedi. His release was a surprise because he spent the last week plus as a starting left tackle. Even with Jack Conklin back to practice Tuesday, there's nothing settled at that position. Um, I suppose I was a little surprised by that. Added note, John Christian was released from the Titans. Chris Hubbard, who has played that swing tackle and played for the Browns, also cut. So you could, in theory, swap either one of them out as for James Hudson as a swing tackle. I'm just throwing that out there. Are you surprised by Ifedi? What'd you see when you looked at him on tape?
Well, there were quite a few names. I think people were like, "Well, I kind of surprised they let that guy go." But a big picture lesson to learn about what the Browns are doing is they are taking vested veterans, and what that means is guys who have 4 or more years of experience, and giving them guaranteed contracts and giving themselves the flexibility to bring those guys back into their orbit after letting them go. Because guys who are not at the vest and veteran stage, who are on the younger side, who don't have the years of experience, are subject to waivers. And you don't want to put your good young players in front of waivers, right? Like you don't want to expose them. DTR is a great example of that. Whereas you could like try to get him onto your practice squad, but if you put him into the waiver wire, someone's going to claim him. There are several of those, right? So they have gone to the approach, and there are a lot of names here, and especially some over the years that they've gotten creative with. The practice squad allows you to hold 6 veteran spots. So what that means is you can sign guys who you can make deals with that say, hey, we are going to release you at the initial 53 to work the system to get the guys we don't want exposed to waivers back into our 53. And then we're going to maneuver people. Maybe Bookie Watson, the linebacker, is going to go on IR. Hudson could go on short term IR because of his ankle injury. And they'll bring them back, like an agreement in place. Like, we're going to take care of your guy here at the start. We think he's a part of this, either on the practice squad or we're going to get him back onto the active roster. They've done this with Michael Dunn before, done this with Maurice Hurst as recently as last year. I do think Deontay Foreman, I do think what we'll see with Jermaine Ifedi is my guess is that he will be back. I can't guarantee that, but I feel pretty good about that given, Jack and Jed are off the pup list and they're probably going to look to be playing. So I don't think we have to have this massive concern the way the Athletic is painting the picture. But I definitely think that the vested veteran thing is something fans should know because this is how they're getting guys back into their orbit. They're paying them a guaranteed portion of money and then able to talk them into like working their way back. James Prochet is another one. There are a lot of these examples of guys finding the practice squad or finding the active roster that they're going about. We're comfortable bringing in these veterans and giving them a guaranteed portion of money with the understanding that we are trying to pull you back. Because the danger in letting go of a veteran is they can go sign with any team. But if you have this understanding, this wink, wink, it's not guaranteed. You're definitely doing a hard wink here with the agent. We're going to bring him back. Then that's how it works out. Like I said, Dunn and Maurice Hurst are recent examples. So on the front of that list this year is definitely Deontay Foreman. And it's definitely Jermaine Ifedi of guys that they want to either get them back onto the 53 right away or put them onto the practice squad for a game day elevation, which you can do upward of 4 times before a guy has to be back into the active roster. So I think what you should take from that is Andrew Berry is very good at this. They've gone about curtailing the vested veteran stuff in a unique way, and the same thing could happen when if they have to release Tyler Huntley. He's another vested veteran at quarterback that they could then bring him back to the practice squad if they want to. It's just a thing to know that all these veterans, they're really working back channels to make sure that they stay inside their orbit. And you would ask, like, why would a veteran do that? Well, the Browns are giving them guaranteed money. They're this contract in place, and then they're saying you're going to have to deal with maybe getting cut, and then we'll bring you back. It's just about protecting as many of your guys within the means of the NFL rules as you can.